Hello, welcome to another edition of All About Anne's Art with Anne Laidler. Today I'm painting video 2 in my series Trees Through the Seasons. So I'm going to be painting a summer tree. As you can see, I've already painted the spring tree, so I'm going to do the summer tree next to it. I've got a bit bluer sky for a summer sky. This is ultramarine blue, and I'm going to use the same colours I did with the spring tree. So I've got lemon yellow, and I'm going to add some ultramarine blue to that yellow to make a nice summer green. A bit more yellow is needed. And there we go. And I'm going to just dry the brush off on my tissue a little bit. I always keep a piece of tissue in my hand, just in case I need to use it. So just start off with the nice summer green leaves. Pick up a bit more paint. So it's going to be the same tree as I did in the spring, but in its summer leaf forms. So we've got quite a few leaves where the springtime one was a bit sparse. Plenty leaves in the middle. And what I'm doing, if you can see, I've got the brush on its side and I'm scraping the whole length of the bristles on the paper so that I'm not using the point of the brush but the sides of the bristles. Now I've just added some more ultramarine to my colour to make a deeper colour, and this is going to be underneath some of the brighter colours as a shadow, because when the sun's shining and it's shining down on trees, the underneath leaves are always slightly darker. So now, as you can see, I'm fair tickling the paper with the brush, just gently stroking the paper. A few more down here maybe, a few down here just as a side. There we go. Perhaps have a bit more in the middle. As I say, it's better to cover the middle of the tree up, because when you look at summer trees, they're quite solid in the middle with gaps around the outside. So I think that's probably sufficient leaves. Just dry my brush a bit. Add a bit more brown to this bark mixture. So that's burnt umber and ultramarine blue, just to make it less chocolatey. There we go. Again, I'm going to paint from the ground up. When you paint trees, it's always best to start at the bottom and paint up as things grow. So I'm painting upwards from the ground. Now when we get to the foliage, we need to start going through and dotting in between the leaves. So obviously the leaves are covering up the branches, trying to make them the same as the spring tree. And that one goes out there. So at the moment I've got my brush quite flat. I've made a wedge of the point rather than having a point, so that it's producing nice thin lines. Let's do some of that. Okay. Now I want to put a few marks on this bark again, like I did with the spring tree. So just paint it over a bit. Put my brush down for a moment. Get my piece of plastic credit card that I've cut up. I'm using the round corner, not the corner that I've cut with the scissors. Just put a few lines like that on there. Make it a bit more like a tree. I'm going to clean my brush and move down to a smaller one. I've got two brushes to use here. I've got a number 5, which is a smaller point than the one I've just been using, which was a number 10. So again, go in and put a few branches in, coming out the top. There we go. So this one, much less branch can be seen through the tree. There's one comes out there. That's what this foliage is hanging on. And there. I'm going to change to my rigger. Go back in and get some paint. And then just put a few tiny little branches. Just a couple of little spiky ones coming out the ends. There we go. And then remember to put the thin little branches in here. Now when you do branches like this, always remember, don't draw them as straight lines. Nature very rarely does straight lines. So they're always a bit twisted or bent. Just drawing that to the trunk. There we go. Again, I'm going to put some green grass underneath the tree. So a bit stronger green this time all over. Using the rigger so that I get uneven marks with the paint. I'd just gone in with the normal number 10 or number 5. I'd have got straightforward, cover it all in marks. And what I want is some unevenness. There we go. Put a few bits of grass growing up around the tree. Like that. Cover that in there a bit. Alright, get a bit of blue into my brown to make the fence posts again. Make them again. Now when you're doing fence posts, it's always best to put them in at wonky angles like that rather than nice regimental fence post. So if you ever go into the country and have a look at fences along the sides of fields and things, they're never straight. They're always wonky where the land's sunk or the posts have been knocked. So it's much better to do them at an angle like that. Okay, so there we have a summer tree, still using lemon yellow, ultramarine blue and burnt umber.